Oh, Salmanan, guys. Um, I wasn't planning to do this video, or rather this topic, but it's been eating me. It's been eating me, and I just wanted to speak about misogyny. What confirmed that I want to do the video is Jonah Hill, the actor, has been trending, or was trending rather, on a message that he sent his ex-girlfriend, and then he was labeled a misogynist and all these things. And manje isingisi, I've read some of the comments on YouTube, where people have called me a misogynist on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm going, hey, yini le misogyny. So I did what most great researchers do, and I went to Google, and Google says a misogynist is a person who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced or prejudiced against women. I dislike or despise women. Mina. Alright, man, guys, I love women. Oh, come on, to a fault at times. And being prejudiced, I don't think I've ever been in a space where I literally am prejudiced to a woman because she's different from me. I went to a co-ed space where academically we were dominated by sisters. Not because they were sisters, but because they were smarter than us and they put in more effort. So it wasn't about being prejudiced. It was just understanding what we have different. That individual has different strengths to me, and that individual has different strengths to me. That person can be tall, short, fat, skinny, woman, male, whatever. It wasn't a matter of tying it to their gender or their sex. But obviously in today's time, the word misogyny has moved across, and it's more of a modern day misogyny, where people will say things like, when I I wrote these things down. The things that you say are very derogatory against women, and they lean to the abuse of women, and derogatory. Guys, I'm not a spokesperson for men. I'm not a spokesperson for anyone. I'm not talking about all women. So if this video doesn't speak to you, don't watch it. I'm just having my own opportunity to be in front of a camera and have an anecdotal rather experience where I speak about things that I've heard and I've seen. So I'm not a spokesperson for men. I'm not a spokesperson. I don't represent anyone. And again, I'm not speaking about all women. So when I say women are, short, I know that in the women in the WNBA are super tall, but generally speaking, in South Africa, black females, middle class, tend to be shorter than I am. It's just, again, a generalization based on my walk. Not on your walk, my experiences, not your experiences. So again, you find where people say I berate or whatever woman, I criticize women, I slut shame, being told that I slut shame. I find it confusing, we can't call certain people out on the negative things that they do. Really? If you want to be and you want to sleep with that, that's perfectly fine, guys. That's perfectly fine. The problem comes in when you want to be in a space with people like me, or people that think like me, and then we must pretend something else. It was so weird because I was in a space a couple of months ago with certain sisters who said, oh, they'll never cook for a man. I'm looking at these sisters, I'm like, some of your sisters are having raw sex with random men, or men that you're vibing with that you don't even know they're serving properly, but you draw the line at cooking. And if I say something, I'm slut shaming. No, cooking for him, that's wifey duties. I'll never belittle myself. But raw sex, let him bust a load inside of me. And then you're shocked when... Anyway. So again, I've been called all these things. I've been called men like you coerce women, abuse women, control women by shaming. Aibo, Kanti, am I talking to kids? If those women that don't want to watch, don't want to engage, Hi, boy, no one's forcing you to do anything. You know, now because some people want to watch these videos and they get triggered and then they want to comment and then they want to get angry, I'm misogynist. Guys, if I'm not speaking to you, I'm not speaking to you. If you are everything that I'm not saying you are, sharp, move, keep it moving. But it's just so crazy because I was following about how Jonah Hill is called a misogynist. Jonah Hill sends a list to his ex-girlfriend about things that he doesn't want to do or he's not willing to compromise. Much like how women have standards, much like how women go around and saying, well, these are my preferences, Penson. I want a man who's tall, dark, and handsome. Sure, I want a man who earns this financial bracket. Sure. The moment we say we want a yellow bone with perky titties and a big bum, the moment I say I don't want to be dating a plus size girl, I'm a jerk. I'm a misogynist. I don't want to date a girl with so many numbers on her bedpost in terms of the guys she slept with. Oh, slut shame, misogynist. She says that, she's fine. She's got standards. I say that, I'm an asshole. I'm toxic. Jonah Hill is saying it, he's an asshole. He's toxic. Jonah Hill says, some of the things, I just wrote down things. He says, he's not prepared to be with a person who has inappropriate friendships with men. Me as Penson, my partner, I don't want a partner who has male friends. That's just me. That's a conversation for a different day. But Jonah Hill is saying you can have relationships with men, friendships with men, but not inappropriate ones. Oh, he's toxic. Oh, he's the worst. And then he says, posting sexual pictures. He says, I can't be with a partner who posts sexual pictures. Oh, he's a misogynist. You know. And then he speaks about Witty having friends who come from your recent wild past. So clearly his ex had a recent wild past. And he says, I don't want you associating them outside of having coffees or lunch. So again, those seem like he writes this list, so please just go Google this. But it was so crazy how when he puts his standards, his values, his this and that, he's called a misogynist. And when she does the same, you know, we must clap hands. You go, girl. You go, girl. Today's time is so weird because all of a sudden, guys who are being honest about how they feel, guys who are talking about the realities that they speak in, they get put in this little box. Oh, Penson is part of the manosphere. You know, he's part of the podcasts that speak evil upon women. He's part of the online presences that are evil on women. He's part of the red pill. You know, the red pill. How, guys? So I can't go and engage with the realities that we've experienced as men. Not all men, some men. The ones that I'm speaking to, at least. If you read some of the comments on my Instagram, on my YouTube, some of the spaces I'm in, a lot of men have experienced what I've experienced, or at least seen it, or at least heard it. And I'm speaking to those type of guys. You know, chivalry is dead. You guys fucking killed it. You guys are speaking on both sides of your mouths. One, you want equality, where men is equal as women, but at the same time you want a man who will open the door for you and pay for dinner and what? When is it equal? When is it that you can go and call out a guy and speak about his shortfalls, and when I do the same, I'm not called any horrible words? That doesn't make any sense to me. It really, really doesn't. And I'm sitting here and I'm writing all these notes and I'm watching all these things and I'm trying to understand where we are today to a point where I'm called a misogynist. I have a mom that I love. I have a sister that I love. I've got nieces that I love. Why would I not want the best for them? Why would I not want the best opportunities for my nieces? Why would I not want them to become the best that they can be? But when they do things that are wrong, that I deem are immoral, that I deem don't align with values, I will call them out. The same way that when I am doing something that they deem is immoral or doesn't align with values, they will call me out. They will call me out. It's not rocket science. If they don't appreciate, they keep it moving. If I don't appreciate, I'll keep it moving. But it's just so crazy why in today's time, when there are men who can articulate certain emotions that other brothers can't, we labeled a certain thing. If you look at rap, so many rappers were called, and I'm not talking about gangster rap, I'm just saying just rap in general, the poetic expression. So many of those guys were called misogynists and this, all because they could articulate articulate with words how many men felt, then they were labeled. A lot of men feel like this. The worst of the worst, Andrew Tate, he's articulating what millions and millions of young men feel. Do I agree with everything he says? Of course not. I'm not stupid. Are there things I agree? I agree with a lot of things that he says. And there's a lot of things I disagree. But I'm in awe of the fact that he can articulate what millions of other men feel. And that's just the absolute truth. That's why so many men gravitate to guys like that. A Jordan Peterson, a Kevin Samuels, a Joe Rogan. Kevin Peterson's, I was actually, Kevin Peterson, what's his name? Jordan Peterson. He said something around men that was so profound. He said, a homeless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has it under voluntary control. A very dangerous man in today's time is called toxically masculine. Toxic masculinity. I've been labeled person as toxically masculine, whatever. Until people are in shit, then they call, if it's person, I'm in trouble with my girl, we're in this problem, please can you come help us? I've been called toxic, I'm manipulating, I'm toxically, when it's time to pay the bill, everybody looks away, then the bill gets put in the most toxic person's, then I have to pay. Where are these nice guys? Why aren't you guys dating these nice guys? Leave the toxic, misogynistic men alone. If you look at 50 Shades of Grey, that billionaire, he's misogynist, okay, leave him alone. Twilight leave them alone. Leave those guys alone. But for some weird reason, the more people call me a misogynist, all sisters are in my DMs. Hey, Benson, hey. Nyanziba, I mean. I have no time for that. But for some reason, it doesn't make much sense to me. On the one side, I'm called these horrible words that I disagree and am not understanding at all. At the same time, you guys are giving me love and attention. Not everyone got you. Some. Like, is this playground duties all over again? Where I open sing, but on the side, you're leaving a little love letter under my desk. Come on, guys. We need to actually be able to have these conversations. We need to be able to grow. If there's areas where I'm falling short and my blind spots, let's have these communications. Let's speak about them. If it's something, some comments are pleasing you sweat too much, sharp. If it's something that I want to work on, I'll have the conversation. If it's something I don't want to work on, then I won't. But the reality is, let's have those conversations. Let's see how we can benefit each other. Let's grow as a community. For you to call me names, sharp, I'll take the names, I'll analyze the names, and I'll do a video. And then when I call you a slut, you need to do the same. You need to say, am I doing slut-like behavior? And what does that mean and how does that translate? And then let's have those honest conversations. And that's how we grow. I'm not in the business of shitting on our sisters. However, I will shit on a behavior of some of our sisters. I'm not in the business of shitting on our brothers. However, I will shit on certain negative behaviors that some of our brothers do. That I will do unapologetically. And it will, again, in the process and in the hope of, as we continue on this journey, help each other grow. Guys, in Yantanda, I sat down and I thought about this and I was like, I need to write this, I don't feel, But now that it's out, I just like us to continue having these conversations, telling me my blind spots and how I can improve, but in a respectful manner. Or in a short manner, I don't care. As long as we just share. Sometimes the truth comes out a bit rough, But in Yantanda, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Stay blessed and stay warm.